Trooper Proctor's testimony from the Karen Reed trial seems to be the gift that keeps on giving, as he is now facing even more potential fallout for other investigations that his name was attached to. This and more in today's video. Hello, 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 and welcome to Alexasrewm, where we are not lawyers, we are not medical professionals, we are not law enforcement, we are just people. People who have opinions about all things going on in the true crime community, including what the heck is going on with Mr. Trooper Michael Proctor, the lead investigator of the Karen Reed case. Now, if you missed my video where we broke down his entire testimony, I will link it in the description box below. So now he could be potentially facing, at least according to NBC Boston 10, even more fallout that could be affecting some of the previous cases that he was attached to. So I want to get into this report. This dropped, it seems like, either late last night and has been since updated this morning. We'll go through this Brady letter that I also shared in my community tab, what it means from an attorney perspective. Mark Betterow commented on what exactly this means. It seems like it's pretty standard, but it's interesting, and very interesting timing. What with the hearing for the motions to dismiss counts 1 and 3. So let's dive in. The fallout from Massachusetts State Police Trooper Michael Proctor's testimony in the Karen Reed trial is continuing to grow. Proctor is suspended without pay, as we know, amid an internal investigation, which we talked about a little bit in my video I posted last night about Lieutenant Fanning, who was also under internal investigation but was ultimately cleared as of now. And the situation is affecting other cases involving him. New documents obtained exclusively by NBC 10 Boston shows the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, which prosecuted Reed, sent a Brady letter earlier this month to 13 criminal defense attorneys in 4 cases, one being the Karen Reed case. So I'm curious to hear what other attorneys this was sent to. I think there has been some speculation or some reports in regards to as to who those attorneys were, but what cases those are attached to, I guess we're just going to have to wait and to see what more is being reported. But let's go through these documents. Now comes Michael Morrissey, Norfolk District Attorney, on August 2nd. So this was a week ago, where he is disclosing the this information. So, dear attorney, this letter is to inform you that pursuant to Mass R. Crim P 14A 1A III, the Norfolk District Attorney's Office is aware of information that in Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, Massachusetts State Police Trooper Michael Proctor testified that and was subject to cross-examination relating to alleged conflicts of interest, communications with non-involved civilian persons regarding the case, and statements regarding the defendant from which defense counsel argued a bias could be found. And I mean, that's completely true. I mean, after all, he called the woman a CUNT, see you next Tuesday, and also remarked on her medical conditions, which I'm not going to subject you to that testimony again. It was absolutely disgusting and disturbing, but I will link my video breakdown of his full testimony in my description box below. In addition, this office is aware that Trooper Proctor, while I guess he doesn't like to proofread, that Trooper Proctor is currently suspended without pay pending an open internal affairs investigation. Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving, right? By the Massachusetts State Police. Attached is an unofficial transcription of Trooper Proctor's testimony on June 10th and June 12th. This was compiled using SpeakRight from the Court Media Pool feed obtained from Court TV and Canton Community Television websites. So that's also interesting to me. I mean, they say this is the unofficial transcription from these streams, which they link to here. But I mean, they couldn't they get an official transcript from the court reporter? It's or is it just not readily available? Like, wouldn't you be able to get access from Madam Court Reporter, who had literally taken that down, versus a television news station based on their transcription. I mean, I don't know. I would rely more on like an official court reporter's transcript, but that what do I know, right? And was proofed by this office. Yeah, that's pretty makes me feel really good. So it was proofed by this office. I would feel better seeing the actual official transcript. And why is that not being disclosed? Is it not prepare? Are they not able to get that make that available right now because this is an ongoing trial? I have no idea, but that seems a little fishy to me. It was proofed by this office. Doesn't make me feel very confident about that, but okay. While best efforts were used to achieve accuracy, this is being again, that also doesn't make me feel very good knowing what this office is capable of. This is being provided for discovery purposes of the statements made, but it is not an official transcript amenable for impeachment purposes. An official transcript has been ordered. Okay, so that they ordered it. Okay, we'll see what happens. We know what happens when they order things. They fail to produce those things at least in a timely manner. Or in the key in regards to the Ring doorbell camera footage, they seem to not have had that available, even though they made claims that they did have that. But okay, to the extent that testimony references a prior proceeding and text messages from through that proceeding pursuant to Mass Art Crim P yada yada yada. Such material is subject to a judicially signed federal court order and is not within the control of the Norfolk DA's office. So I guess essentially what they're saying is if you want to get the actual text message screenshots or transcripts, you'll have to place an order for that. Um, that's subject to a judicially signed. So we're not responsible for providing that to you. You got to seek it through a judicially signed federal court order. Requests for information should be made to the United States Attorney's Office pursuant to that's interesting. What with anything that's going on with the US Attorney's Office right now. Sincerely, Assistant so ADA. The- It doesn't even say Lally's name here. That's so weird. But okay, there we go. So the letter states that Proctor, who is involved in each investigation, has been subject to cross examination regarding issues like the conflict of interest and bias. It notes that he's under investigation, suspended without pay. So essentially, this has to be disclosed, from my understanding. And we'll pull up some comments that work better because he shed some light into this because everybody's like, "This is like amazing," and it is, but it can also be equally as dangerous because now, I mean, we look at the Brian Walsh case as well too, where I mean, it's clear as day that that guy is a creepazoid and he just brutally murdered his wife. I think also there was like years of abuse that was documented as well too. So I mean, like that was a crazy case. I haven't followed that super closely, but I mean, my God, like anything this man is attached to, now you're gonna get all these inmates and people who are potentially rightfully have been rightfully convicted. They might be able to use this. They might be able to use this. They might be clamoring away, dialing up their attorneys and being like, "Hey, did you see what's on the news? Like, what is the chance that we could get our hands on something like is this something we could potentially use to open up, I don't know, a retrial in my case? There was an affair investigation. I don't know what the next steps would be, but this could be huge for a lot of people. And on the other hand, it could also be incredibly helpful and beneficial to folks who have been wrongfully convicted or people who haven't had a fair investigation or are currently facing trial too. So this is big, but this seems like a very standard disclosure, something that they are obligated to do. They're supposed to let these attorney knows, hey, this is, what's going on because Trooper Michael Proctor is involved and he isn't under investigation. Be shadier if they didn't disclose this. Why it took this long, though, to send this Brady letter when he testified 2 months ago, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what steps or process that they need to obtain certain things, but I would imagine this should be of the utmost priority, right? But I mean, nothing's a priority in the DA's office unless it is self-serving. Proctor served as the lead investigator in the 22 death of Boston police officer John O'Keefe, testifying at her trial. So this is more about his testimony. She's a whack job. See you next Tuesday. Proctor said while reading texts on the witness stand, in the text he made disparaging remarks about medical conditions, said he had found no nudes so far. Such a deplorable human being. O'Keefe was found in the snow. So this is just more background of the case. Um, he became the lead investigator if state police were called in because Brian Albert has a brother with the Canton police. So yeah, Kevin Albert, who's his buddy, his drinking buddy. But Proctor's own connection with other witnesses were called into question at the trial. Proctor acknowledged that he is close with his sister Courtney, who's friends with Julie Albert, the homeowner's sister-in-law. Yeah, he said some really disgusting things, like I hope she unalives herself. I'm just curious though, like, did they also state other cases likely impacted by Proctor's involvement include a prominent doctor in Dover accused of killing his wife back in 2020, the murder of a moped driver in Milton 2021, and a child A case in Quincy, an unofficial transcript. Yep, we just read that was sent out. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of defense lawyers thinking of really creative ways to try to convince a judge that all of this information, that happened in the Reed case should be held against Trooper Proctor in any case he was the lead investigator on. I mean, yeah. Yeah, because why not? Why not? I feel like it's all totally relevant and it's just so upsetting. Even looking forward to the second Karen retrial, what are they going to do with him? Law experts say these select attorneys will likely follow additional motions to get more information on Proctor's background. So yeah, going back to this quote, even looking forward to the second trial, what are they going to do with him as a witness in the case? And not only just him, what are they going to do with all of them? Yuri Buchanan is still under internal affairs investigation. Brian Tully is still under internal affairs investigation. So yeah, how are they possibly going to that's why I'm so baffled with all this nonsense, this circus show that's going on with the Commonwealth, and why they are so gung ho about moving forward with the second trial. Like, this is half of your like star witnesses are under internal affairs investigation, and their credibility is totally being questioned by the state police. So like, how how can you put them on the stand and say, yeah, they're credible? You can believe everything what they say. They might be schmucks and human poop stains, but you should still believe that they conducted a fair investigation. Like, give me a freaking break. Are they going to call him again? Are they not going to call him? Who knows? It may impact how they proceed in the second Karen retrial as well. At a hearing Friday, the judge will hear arguments. So that's what we did in today's earlier video. But I mean, this is insane to me. It's insane in the fact that like my heart hurts for victims like Anna Walsh, her children, her family. Absolutely devastating and heartbreaking because again, it's just one schmuck who does not know how to shut his yapper and just do his job. How hard is it to just do your job? Most of us have jobs and we go in and we just put our heads out and we do the right thing every day. We show up, punch in our time cards, and we do the right thing. How hard is it to just do it, to follow the rules? I do not understand. I do not understand. So now I just want to quickly pull up some of these tweets um, to get a lawyer's perspective from Mark Betterow, who's been pretty vocal about this case, because he had some thoughts about this, and I think it's just good to get a attorney's perspective on it. Um, which one was he replying back to? Here we go. So this was the Original tweet from just somebody who else is following the case. So they said the big old dog was the new Proctor Brady letter inevitable based solely on the Karen retrial, or does it hint that much more is about to come out and they are trying to get ahead of it? So Mark Bettero says, careful not to conflate multiple problems for Proctor. The DA has obligations under Brady and Giglio to disclose exculpatory evidence. So again, he's saying they're obligated to do this. If they didn't do it, then they would be in violation of Brady and Giglio. They would be in violation to it, including evidence that undermines their credibility related to any criminal case. Again, that puts risk and further eyes looking over at the DA's office. Like, what are you doing? It makes you look bad. It makes you look terrible too, because these are all cases that are related that your office is prosecuting. So now we're further questioning the credibility, because beforehand, before all this nonsense, he was one of your stars, right? Your star lead investigator. And what does that say about you and your office? Makes people raise more eyebrows, in my opinion. This is what the letters are. That obligation exists separate and apart and without any regard to Proctor's internal affairs, IAB, and disciplinary problems with the MSP. So then our friend Dag Nabbit asks a really good question. What would the exculpatory evidence be with regard to, say, the Walsh case? Um, he goes, a witness's credibility is always an issue. Certainly, Walsh's attorney will want to come after Proctor. Yeah, for his disciplinary history, unprofessional conduct, and everything else he did wrong. And they'll be demanding any possible evidence of him sending inappropriate texts in other cases, including the one at which he is presumably testifying. So, yeah, I don't see how they recall him. I don't see how Proctor is not trying to make some kind of a deal. Maybe trying to throw Tully under the bus because he's his boss. Maybe Buchanan. If I were Proctor, I would be, this is the last ditch effort. Like, to come out with something is to throw my superiors under the bus. But I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know where this is gonna lead for these other cases. Um, but it's both terrifying, but also, if there are people who have been wrongfully convicted because of this douche canoe, um, I hope that they do find their justice. And I think this is going to continue to shake up Massachusetts and the DA's office, and it's going to get a lot more people paying attention to what's actually going on there. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think this is going to really start to blow things out of the water for this DA's office? I don't know. Do you think ultimately it's going to lead to Morrissey's resignation? I don't think that man's going to stop at anything, because I think he's a complete and utter zombie to all of this, just totally in his own warped reality. Um, just like the rest of these agencies in the state. Um, because I think if he was aware of what was really going on and what this actually means, he would just put a stop to all this nonsense, the Karen Reed stuff. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this is the final straw for Michael Proctor? Do you think he's going to be bagging groceries at Stop and Shop very soon? Is that in his near future? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you liked today's video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next update in the Trooper Proctor trilogy, or not trilogy, but in the series. Make sure you hit that like button, because that teaches the YouTube algorithm that this is newsworthy news and it deserves to get more attention. And again, the more attention we get, the more people who are starting to learn about Karen Reed and Trooper Proctor and all these shenanigans that the Massachusetts DA's office is doing, then the more pressure we're putting on these agencies to ultimately do the right thing. And that's what we're all here for at Alexasrewm. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.